Hey guys, James here again. This is going to be what if Goku was half Viltrumite. So, I'm to put on two things. One, if you're TV in the background, my door isn't closing all the way, so there's sound coming through basically just because my grandpa's watching TV and God's really loud for some reason. So you guys may hear the TV because my door won't shut all the way. But also, second thing, thank you Zero for helping me with a lot of the notes on this one. So, yeah, so a lot of this stuff can be credited to Zero in general. So, thank him. Like the what if go check out his channel. So, yeah. Alright, so we go on to basically just Goku being born. Well, this one he's going to be a few years older. He's going to be born in the year 729. So, actually, Vegeta born in the year 732. Raditz born in the year 727. Bulma 732 as well. And canonical Goku 736. So, yeah. So Goku, born in the year 729, he would basically just go and, yeah. Yeah, he'd basically just be born on planet Viltrum. But basically, Viltrum's the Saiyans enter a pact. The pact they enter is basically that they choose the strongest warriors from each race to, create a strong child. They wanted to create a strong child to the fact that they need someone to rebel against Frieza. But the thing is, they define strength in many things. And, there's two Viltrumites that are up for the task of becoming the strongest. The king of the Viltrumites, Thrag, or basically the second in command of basically all Viltrumites, Nolan. Well, he's not legally second in command, but everyone else considers him second in command with how well that they lead him. Not with how well they lead him, with how well he leads them in battle. He's basically like the, I'd consider Bardock basically like the, let me check this real quick. Basically, imagine a person leading a whole army. That's like who Nolan would be, while Thrag would be the king sitting in the back, or kind of a trump card if they're losing, which is very rare. The only time they have lost is literally just to Frieza and his father. No, not just Frieza and his father. The Viltrumites are very similar to humans. The only way that they're different is all the men grow facial hair that are really just Hitler statues times 10. That's what they all look like. Take a look at Thrag and Nolan and a few other male Viltrumites. Then compare that to Hitler's stash. That's what it looks like, just times 10. But yeah, also consider that Thrag is not that good of a guy. But yeah, Omni-Man isn't either. But I redeem him. So yeah, but we move on to Goku. Who would basically be selected. One of his fathers would basically be selected from the Viltrumites as Nolan. Nolan seems to have strong leadership. All around really good martial arts, he's the best, combat fighter of Viltrumites. But Thrag honestly has greater strength and experience. His technique is kind of lacking, and so is his speed. But Nolan's technique and basically speed is unrivaled. And then after that, we go on to the Saiyans who'd be chosen. Saiyans chosen would honestly be up for King Vegeta and Bardock. We don't have many strength feats for King Vegeta, and people will say that Bardock is stronger than King Vegeta. So Bardock would be selected. So Bardock selected because he's by far the strongest Saiyan. He's like the Nolan of the Saiyans. So Bardock and Nolan are selected, and Nolan doesn't have a wife, while Bardock does. And Bardock's wife honestly wants another kid for Raditz, because Raditz doesn't even have any friends his age, and she thinks it'd be better if he had a friend who happened to be his brother as well. So yeah. Pause. So, what was it? Oh yeah, so Bardock is the only one with a wife, and then Gina thinks it'd be fun for Raditz to finally have a friend who's happens to be his brother. And plus there's not that big of an age difference, so may be fun. With this, Goku and Raditz, Goku's born 2 years after Raditz. And when Goku's born, honestly, he's born with power level of, Vegeta at birth, I believe, was like 900 something, so let me check that. People estimate Vegeta maybe like 500, 600. Goku's going to be born roughly around 900 or so. So, you're going to be pretty high up there. But yeah, so Goku is still born on Viltrum, but Raditz is able to actually see him, as he's like the only Saiyan that visits Viltrum, only see his brothers, literally just Bardock, Gine, and Raditz. And no one's happy to have a son of his own. But eventually, a lot of the scientists of Viltrum had to basically just to planet Vegeta to see if they can experiment with more, like having more kids like that. Because Goku seems to be born extremely strong for a Saiyan. Even King Vegeta considered Goku just to be born low class, but then with his Viltrumite DNA being more dominant, he just naturally grow to be the level of possibly an elite class or a noble. Because even the most average Viltrumites are as strong as King Vegeta. So yeah. Pause. Alright, so basically just Goku would also his name is actually born he's born named Goku. The Viltrumites want to name him a Viltrumite name, the Saiyans want to name him a Saiyan name, and they can compromise to not name him a name from any race, just Goku seems to be fitting. Not just random for them. So Goku it is. But Bardock is called Goku Kakarot, and then, well, the Viltrumites call him Marcus, but spelled honestly just M''ARKUS. So, Marcus among Viltrumites, Kakarot among Saiyans. Now, Goku honestly doesn't have any problem with childhood. Only thing that he has a problem with is that only 3 people treat him like he's a kid because he is a kid. Honestly, he prefers being treated like a kid. The only people that treat him like a kid are literally just Bardock, Hine, and Raditz. And, well, Nolan, despite being his father, does treat him more like a student. So, it's not too bad with Nolan, but Nolan does actually sometimes forget Goku is his son and a kid. He does catch himself sometimes and does actually acknowledge Goku as being a kid and does apologize for it. But everyone else treats Goku like an experiment or like a lethal weapon. But Raditz is truly the only one that didn't think of Goku as a weapon. Even his brother Vegeta kind of considered Goku a weapon. He refused to acknowledge Goku as a person, only as some trump card against Frieza. And then again, he refused to acknowledge Goku as that, thinking he was a trump card against Frieza. So yeah. But we should go on to just Goku, one to Goku when he's roughly around 4 years old. So 729, around year 734. Well, when he's around 5, they say 4 or 5. Pretty sure I said 4. So year 733. Now with this, well, Goku happened to be on planet Vegeta, as he just honestly went there to visit and look around. While he was away, well, reportedly, Viltrum came under attack from, well, Cooler. As everyone does know that Cooler is, at least in this one, Cooler isn't allied with the Frieza Force or the Cold Force. Part of that, Cooler just attacked it and wiped out every Viltrumite he could. And he killed everyone, even Nolan. And made sure that when he left, he turned the planet to ash. Only people left are, well, Viltrumite scientists, and, well, that's it. There's not even 10 scientists, around 6 or 7. But only the upside is that they're the smartest minds on Viltrum. That's why they're here. And they've been combining Saiyan technology with theirs. The Saiyans are getting a lot more advanced. But now we move on to year 737. But with this, basically, Goku would decide to, he just kind of forced to undergo mental training, and he's forced to learn a lot of things. Engineering, computer engineering, then any kind of technology, or just, I'm going to say, by the time he gets to Earth, Dr. Briefs will not hold a candle to Goku. Goku would hold like 40 trillion candles, Dr. Briefs, and he'd surpass him with every quarter of that candle. Every quarter of each candle. So Goku's just honestly a genius because he's forced to be one. They want the strongest genes in any Viltrumite born from Goku, as they encourage Goku to have as many kids as possible. So yeah. Now with this, well, Goku would also end up heading down to, well, also Saiyan technology, he's also mixing with that. But Goku is also considered to be one of the Frieza Force's greatest warriors, as he's also trained insanely hard. And Goku's basically a master of around 200 martial arts by the time he's 8, which is the 737. But having to be based off planet on a random, just like a random distant planet, and happened to be near Vampa. And honestly, he was just here because he just wiped out the whole species in the matter of 2 minutes. What he did is just fly so fast around the atmosphere that the whole thing caught fire, then Goku just landed, and just used his ki to flare up an area so the area he was in didn't burn. Then 2 minutes later, the whole species was wiped out, so, yeah. But he just let out a giant burst of air, and then the whole planet is extinguished. But he's the last one on it, so, yeah. But he's basically building a stealth pod that not even Frieza can track. Track. And eventually, once he's done basically with this pod, he'd get back in it and decide to fly off. Also, with his Viltrumite DNA, Goku doesn't look a lot how he is as a kid. Viltrumite DNA is very, very prominent in no matter who you are. We have Mark, who's half human, or should be half human, but Viltrumite DNA is so dominant that Mark can keep up with full-blood Viltrumites. So, the DNA may say that he's half Viltrumite, but Viltrumite DNA is more prominent than human DNA, so he exerts more prominence as a Viltrumite, despite DNA saying he's human. So, physical ability says otherwise. Kind of how Goku's is. DNA may say half Saiyan, but in reality, if you were to honestly determine Goku's abilities, you couldn't tell he was a Saiyan. But yeah. But with this, by the time Goku's done building his pod, he's sending his transmission. I don't even know, pod, so more than a giant ship. Like, let me find it real quick. I say the ship, not the ship, the pod, the ship that Goku was building, they're on the size of the Boeing 777, or Boeing 777. So yeah, Google how big that is. That's just honestly how big Goku's ship is. And he built it all by himself at the age of 8 years old in the span of a week. So, yeah. But Goku with this giant ship, Frieza can't track it unless Goku decides to let him track it. Frieza can have all the greatest minds in the universe track this pod or try to track it, and they can barely pick up signature off of it. Goku wants to pick up a scouter, then listen in, and it really feels like Vegeta was hit by a meteor wiping out any Saiyan who was on planet. But Goku would honestly tap his scouter more times, just kind of trying to figure out if this is a lie or not. He gets a message from Bardock, and Bardock tells Goku everything that happened with Frieza destroying the planet. Goku immediately gets enraged, as for the first time he would tap into somewhat being false Super Saiyan. Every time he's tapping into this, he would have to hear his mother and father telling him everything while hearing the sound of his fellow Saiyans being murdered. Even the fellow Viltrumites that were scientists were being murdered. You had to listen to every scream, every howl to hear the end of this message. And what set it off is even Gine was trying to fight for him, and Gine didn't even have power level 50. But she was still trying to fight so hard to block this message off to Goku. Even she wanted to say something. But Goku couldn't stand this anymore, and honestly went into a false Super Saiyan state. But Goku, being more Viltrumite in just power, seemed to not be able to go to full Super Saiyan. But full Super Saiyan is what he unlocked. The good thing is his false Super Saiyan, well, it gave him around a 45 times multiplier. So, yeah. Pause. So Goku's false Super Saiyan 45 times multiplier did actually spike up a bit. But Goku's power level at this point, at the age of 8 years old, was already roughly around 60,000. Maybe times 45. Math on that real quick. We went to around 2.7 million false Super Saiyan, so pretty impressive. It's still something for him Frieza can mop him, so yeah. But with this, Goku needed to find somewhere to lay low, and been using a scouter to figure it out. Before he did that, he honestly took out every part of it that Frieza could track, then kind of re-engineered it in his ship. And eventually put his scouter up, trying to find any planets when the survival state was power levels on it. Found Vampa, but only found 2 power levels. One was really impressive, being equal to him, which is very rare among Saiyans. Well, even Saiyans, just being rare among people in general. Maybe Frieza the Ginyu Force can compare to him, but that's about it. They on his pod, fired off to Vampa, and landed. When he landed, Perius ran to the ship questioning who that is, and sees a kid walk off. Questions if there's any adults piloting, he says, "No, this is my pod, I built it, so I pilot it." Brock's questioning Goku and who he is, asking to see a scouter, contact anyone, but Goku says he can't. Frieza killed all the Saiyans, so he cut off his communication from Frieza. Bardock asks how Goku, Perius asks how Goku knows this. Goku says, "I have a message from another Saiyan who's yelling, Frieza's killing us." And you hear Frieza's voice in the background saying that he's going to kill us all. Perius' side, kind of falling to the ground, saying, "So we're the last ones left?" Goku says, "No, there's a few other Saiyans left. I think 4. Well, 7 counting us, and then that other boy hiding back there." As he points out Broly hiding behind a rock. Perius asks who the other ones would be. Goku points out Tarble, Prince Vegeta, his brother Raditz, or his brother Tarble, his brother Prince Vegeta, his brother Raditz, and Vegeta's glorified bodyguard Nappa. And immediately, asks what Goku means by like brother, and this is Goku describes who he is. Party says, "Say that they really went through with that project, and you were really born from it, huh?" But Goku would nod. As Goku didn't know about Paragus and Broly, the fact that Broly's on a planet like not long after he was born. So, yeah. With this, well, eventually Goku did end up, he was able to convince Paragus and Broly to come with him off planet. As they didn't trust the kid to pilot the ship, but Paragus realized that Goku piloted it really well. Plus, the ship can turn invisible, so not even invisible. It honestly sets out a barrier that reflects what's behind it. So yeah, but they arrive on Earth as they land. It's gonna be Gohan, and Paragus about to fire Ki at him until Goku elbows him right in the sides of that he passed out. Not passed out, just fell to his knees, about to pass out. But Goku greet Gohan and tell Gohan who they are and what they are. And honestly, Gohan believed it. They landed in an alien pod. It's weird. Plus, like two of them have one of them has tails, pointing out Paragus. So yeah, but with this, Goku, Broly, Paragus, and Gohan live in harmony for a few years. They live in harmony for, I would say, Goku's 8 currently, and he'd be 16, I believe, in the year he meet Bulma. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Yeah, he'd be 16. And Bulma would be 15. Which means Broly would be younger than Goku, I think. Wait, no. Pretty sure Broly and Goku may be the same age. Well, because Goku's 1 year, 729 in this one. So Goku and Broly are the same age in this one. So they're both 16, while Bulma happens to be about, 15. Goku and Broly are both decently big for their age. Goku's 16, like 6 foot. Broly's like 16 and 6'10". So yeah. Paragus happens to be laying on the roof, and just kind of up there watching Grandpa Gohan fly around, and Paragus like, no, faster, Gohan. And honestly, Paragus and Gohan train together constantly. Paragus was taught martial arts from Gohan, and then Gohan was taught how to use ki more efficiently. So, pause. I forgot what I was going to do. But, yeah, so Goku, Broly, and Bulma set out to find the Dragon Balls. And Broly's just flying, Goku sitting on his back. So kind of how the roles like Goku kind of taught Broly everything he knew. I'm going to go over some Goku stats at the age of 16. But first is his power level. At the age of 8, he had to get power level 60,000. Broly had the same age. Broly was the same age with the same power level and everything. Shocking because Goku was keeping up with Legendary Super Saiyan at the age they go to. But at 16, Goku had more ability to learn faster, so he ended up being stronger than Broly. Goku's roughly around 400,000, Broly's roughly around 350,000. So, yeah. They got so strong because Goku just fights him 24/7, and they keep growing in power. So, yeah. So, But when Goku doesn't grow, plus those ones have a natural healing factor, so they just grow faster. But Broly just gets stronger from fighting with another Saiyan 24/7, plus all this training. So yeah, so with all Broly's training, and then him, he's not too roughed up by Goku, but trained a lot. So with infinite potential of Legendary Super Saiyan, Broly grew really fast, and Goku just has healing factor from Zenkai's from Broly, so he's good. But Goku's abilities now. He has a strength of just one arm with one punch. Has the power of 300 septillion tons. That's how strong one punch is from him. So anything that he hits full force, he can turn to ash with that amount of punch, with that much force and speed at once. So yeah. All right. So he can punch with 300 septillion tons of force in one arm, but he doesn't go all out ever, because if he does hit Broly, Gohan, or Paragus with that, he may just punch away half the Earth with that one shockwave. It's not enough force to wipe out the Earth in general, I think. Actually, it's enough to change the weather, I'd assume, in multiple countries or continents, but yeah. So if Goku just holds back a bit, he can send Broly flying a whole country away, but Broly can fly back. Then he's around 500,000 times faster than light, which is like, I believe, it's not I'd say 700,000 times faster than light, according to my notes. So he is around 300 trillion miles an hour. According to, just compared to light, 300 trillion times, not 300 trillion times, 300 trillion miles an hour. Then he has basically infinite stamina. He doesn't run out, seemingly, even with Broly going into Akari, and then Super Saiyan 1, Goku didn't run out of power. He still just pushed Broly back till Broly was tired. In that fight, Goku did lose, Broly ran out of stamina first, or Goku was losing, but Broly got tired first, so Goku won. He can hold his breath for over a month. He can survive on basically nothing but water. Just give him water at least once every 2 weeks, and he'll survive off that. He has a natural fight like most Viltrumites. He's immune to disease, and he has a healing factor, a really good one at that. He's immune to aging. Like, once he hits the age of like 20, he will stop aging for a really long time, just through Saiyan physiology, but also through Viltrumite physiology. Like, Goku can live for longer than most Viltrumites can. I'm pretty sure the oldest Goku would get in what if it's 5,000. So, yeah. Then, well, he basically has an invincible will. So, yeah, like, he cannot shatter his will or pride anyway. Like, he'll find some way to get to just keep it standing no matter what. He's a genius to use level IQ, he expresses Bulma in literally every way possible at like the age of 3 years old. He knows more than a few hundred martial arts by the time he's on Earth. Like, on Earth, he knows around 1,000. Then he has super hearing. He can hear most of the things going on in his country. So, yeah. In the country he's in. He seems to be a natural at leading people. He has enhanced learning ability, which is why he has so many stats that are impressive. Self-sustenance, like I said before about the whole food, and like no food or sleep, anything. He just needs water. He can go Super Saiyan, but he can go false Super Saiyan, and he learned how to do that against Broly. That's how he holds off Broly a lot. So, yeah. False Super Saiyan is able to hold off Broly. But let's go Goku is able to evolve it. And at this point, if he uses like the normal false Super Saiyan at 45 times multiplier, he can use it like his base form. He can stay in that form for a really long time. But if he wants to evolve it, it can go to the highest power it can go currently is around 100 times. That's how much he evolved it. He has Akari as well. So he has no tail like Broly, but they can tap into the Great Ape power. Plus, Broly being beaten to the ground by Goku, who's equal to him. He's not even equally stronger than him right now. So Broly is actually able to control Akari through being beaten to the dirt over and over again. So he has considered Zenkais at the same time as well. So this is a huge thing about him. What else? I'm pretty sure that's it. And that's it. So yeah. Pause. So yeah, so this all Goku stats. Alright, but Goku, Broly arrive Roshi and Goku, Broly, and Bulma. They arrive Roshi. And Roshi has met Goku and Broly a few times, even Paragus. Goku knows a lot of martial arts through exploring the world, and that happened to be his first time happened to be with Roshi. And Roshi taught Goku and Broly perfect tournament style. With Goku's enhanced learning, he mastered tournament style beyond Roshi's ability. So, that's how strong he is. Was the whole Ultra Instinct thing that Roshi showed off in Tournament of Power, the false Ultra Instinct thing, or the just similar Ultra Instinct ability? Goku has that as well. He has that down pretty easily. But yeah. But Goku would eventually, keep on going. And, one thing that would happen is Goku would just head on over with he's about the Dragon Balls. Well, still, he has the whole thing about it. Then meets Pilaf, because Pilaf has the whole thing. Like, he broken Pilaf's castle and told the Dragon Ball. And Pilaf kind of told Goku his wish out loud. And Goku then had the idea about destroying the Viltrumites. Honestly, Pilaf gave him the idea to restore the Viltrumites. And keep in mind, Goku's known Bulma for around 4 days. And Bulma is already his first target of restoring the Viltrumite race, but doesn't want to do it at the same time because he thinks Bulma as a friend, thinks of Bulma as a friend now. He shoots Mark so hard that it begins cracking, but eventually he decides to drop on the ground. And they got Pilaf for telling Pilaf that he'll conquer the Earth, but in exchange, Pilaf is going to be his right-hand man. And Pilaf even tries to overthrow him, he'll kill him. And to make an example out of it, he killed Mai and Shu. Goku's now resorting back to being what most Viltrumites were. So yeah. So Goku basically just will approach Broly. Paragus tells him about something about what he plans to do, take over the Earth. Broly doesn't really like that idea, and neither does Bulma. Broly doesn't like that idea, and neither does Paragus. But Goku tells them that, he needs to destroy the Viltrumites and the Saiyans. Plus, he does know that most warriors won't listen to him no matter how strong he is. So he'll make them listen through power. If that power, well, he'll make sure that they're ready for Frieza. And Broly and Paris won't listen, he'll force them under his will. This was actually going to just make Paris kind of shudder a bit that Goku's planning to do this. Because Goku honestly just listened to Pilaf a little too closely. And anyone who listens to Pilaf is an idiot, but Pilaf does seem to be smart, so, yeah. Broly tried to grab Goku in a coward mode, only just be flipped over, then punch him in the gut so hard that Broly coughed up blood, and that forced Broly's knocked out. Goku started at Paragus, and then disappeared next to him, and then trapped him in the throat so fast that he just choked on blood and passed out. Gohan's questioning what Goku's doing to them, until Goku told Gohan that he won't kill him, but Gohan should not be able to fight back after this hit. And Goku honestly just does a really fast flick to Gohan's spine that most of it is shattered. Gohan hit the ground unconscious through just sheer pain, that much pain just knocked him out. Then Goku walked over and ended up going on to, I'm going to say, probably just, the next target would probably be Roshi, and he's not going to kill him because he thinks Roshi as a grandfather as well. But he did the same thing he did to Gohan, flicking Roshi on the spine so hard that Roshi's whole spine is shattered. And then he left behind, and, yeah. He kind of just flies around the earth, beating up any warrior he can that may have a chance of fighting back, either killing or crippling them. But by the time he's done, well, he would look up right at, just ashamed of himself, because, well, his next up would be Ox King, and he almost kills Ox King, because Ox King seems to be decently powerful. But Chi-Chi was the one that honestly to kind of put, a nail in the coffin. Chi-Chi seemed to be very protective of her dad. And Goku kind of got flashbacks to him and Bardock, him and Nolan, him and Paragus, him and Gohan, him and Roshi. Goku honestly fell to his knees, ashamed of himself, and pulled Ox King up, telling Ox King that he should go get the Dragon Balls. Ox King asked what those are, but Goku pulled out Dragon Radar, telling Ox King follow this, assemble all the balls. He should be able to undo all the damage he caused, or most of it at least. Goku walks away ashamed, and shoots off into space at max speed. As he flies through space, just ashamed of himself, well, Ox King does do what Goku said and uses his influence to find all the Dragon Balls. Which did honestly include him breaching through Pilaf's castle to almost killing Pilaf and taking Dragon Ball. And the wish undo a lot of Goku's damage, which did heal Gohan, Roshi, Broly, Paragus. It healed any fighter that didn't die at Goku's hand. Now, mostly Roshi's questioning how Ox King's alive, asking if he beat Goku, but Ox King says, no, apparently he felt ashamed what he just did and flew off into space somewhere. Really immediately wanted to go up into space himself, trying to find Goku's pod, but he realized that Goku flew by them all while they were unconscious and just flew the pod into the air with him. And Goku traveled galaxy to galaxy in this pod, just trying to find out where he went wrong. He listened to some random blue idiot, and he went on a rampage. Goku felt like he was no better than Thrag or King Vegeta at this point. He felt ashamed of himself. Goku would eventually arrive on some isolated planet, and while he walks around as he walks past a little green girl with white hair. She tries to steal his wallet, simply, but he pulled her by the hair up to his face level, telling her, hand it back. He shakily handed back the wallet as he put her down, but as she asked her if she's hungry, she would nod, and Goku brought her to the next restaurant he could find. There's not much money in here, but honestly, when you realize there's not much money in there, he went on the planet as fast as he could, stealing anyone's money. And that fast he was moving, time basically froze for him. So, with that little money, he kind of just paid for a meal for him and this girl. And the girl introduced herself as Chilai. Now, he thought the girl was a lot younger than him. How old is Chilai? So this one, you guys can tell. I did figure out how old Chilai was. I had it written down, but I honestly didn't think it was right, so I checked it again. But Chilai's aged up in this one, if you guys already knew or estimated her age. Chilai's in this one, we go through being around 17 at this point. He didn't know how long he was in space traveling, just because he felt like he needed to figure out who he was. At 17 at this point, Chilai would roughly be around 5 years old. So he's 12 years older than her. So it means in the Broly movie, she'd be in her 30s for this one. So yeah. But Goku would basically just, not tell Chilai, but kind of just order anything she wanted. And eventually, a week later, he had to leave. And as he's about to leave, he brings Chilai on board, as she would ask, and he agreed. Now, while on board the ship, he actually does bring Chilai to, well, consider Chilai kind of like a daughter to him. As he travels around space for a few more years, at this point, well, he went to a galaxy that's honestly really ruled by Frieza, and a lot of them refused to actually, well, a lot of them refused to align with Frieza. And Goku honestly realized how far gone they were, as they accepted Frieza as their ruler for almost a decade. But yeah. With that, Goku ends up powering up. And as he powers up, well, he told Chilai to basically wait here. He'll be back in a minute. Chilai waited in the ship, and Goku disappeared, flying full speed ahead, and came back around an hour later, with the universe, not the universe, but the galaxy basically about to be destroyed. So he got back into his ship. When he got back into his ship, well, he flew off for a whole universe, the whole galaxy would implode on itself. Now that Goku and Chilai are gone, and Goku decides to head back to Earth to see how they're all doing. So yeah. Now in a year, when Goku came back, well, he landed at Gohan's place, and immediately Broly and Perry's ready to fight until he see a little girl walk out. He actually walked out, asking if pointing out Broly, Perry, and Gohan, asking if that's their names. And well, they said yeah, she said basically Goku's asleep in the ship right now, but he told her thinking about coming back, and he left her to pilot, so she landed here. This is when Goku's around 24 years old. So around the start of when Raditz would arrive. Not alive, when he would arrive. So yeah. So when Goku does wake up, well, she first at this point, so he was 17 when he met Chi-Chi. Not Chi-Chi. When he met Chi-Chi, when he met Chilai, he was 17. So this was 7 years, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She's around 12 years old at this point. And Chilai got a power level of roughly around 2,000 just from Goku's light training. So yeah, she's pretty powerful. When Goku does wake up, he walks out, and well, Chilai's playing on Broly. Goku would sigh at this, and should wait, because the timeline when Goku's 24, no. And I need to fast forward this. At 24, he would still be in the whole Z thing. So, hold up. No, he'd be 30 at the start of the Raditz thing. And that would have been 13 years. No, Chilai's 18 and Goku's 30. Yeah, so I messed up the ages big time. Yeah, Goku's 30, Chilai's 18. No, he's not gonna have a kid. Have a kid. Chilai's weird because he considers her like his daughter. But yeah, Goku would basically just on Earth, gonna be wandering around with them. And honestly, no one really knows that Goku's the one who beat up and killed all those warriors. The ones that did, well, once they were healed, Fox can kind of explain the whole thing to them, and, well, they understood it. The main ones who were injured were mainly Tien, Chaozu, Roshi, Gohan, Ox King, Perigus, Broly, and a few other miscellaneous warriors. But once they were healed and they understood what Goku was doing, not understood, but they said that Goku was the one that made this wish to heal them. They didn't forgive him, but they did acknowledge that he probably wouldn't be a threat again. But yeah. With this, well, Goku does, well, he was once met Bulma again, and for the last few months, Goku and Bulma did go on pretty well. And when the rest does arrive, Bulma is currently pregnant with Gohan. And Broly and Chilai have been getting uncomfortably close. Honestly, because Chilai had a crush on Broly, but Broly didn't know how to feel about her. But no one has really seen Goku since. And Tien has actually been the one on Kami's lookout training. So, guys are wondering about the whole King Piccolo thing. Broly's on Earth. There's no King Piccolo whatsoever. There's no Red Ribbon Army. There's no King Piccolo. Even if there was King Piccolo and Broly wasn't there, we have a decently stronger Roshi. So, yeah. So, before Goku and Roshi have trained together before. So yeah, so we move on to just Raditz. Wait, pause. So we go to Raditz, Vegeta, and Apple arrive. All three of them arrive because Goku is a force to be reckoned with. When they arrive, they notice that Goku's kind of isolated somewhere, and he's isolated in Kami's lookout. Kind of sits himself in the time chamber a bit, just honestly just be in there. But also, it's honestly just a quick way to get stronger, and, well, he doesn't get much stronger, but he still gets stronger. At the age of 30, Goku has power level of roughly around 40 million. A lot of that is honestly because when he's working in the time chamber from just isolation, he just trains a bit. All of a sudden, Chilai and Broly just kind of get to know each other. Well, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz arrive, and they're on the lookout. We have to look at Kami, and that's why what a Namekian's doing here, but Kami already knew what a Namekian is. Also, Piccolo's egg is sealed away right now, but Kami look at Raditz and then Nappa, and not be too threatened by those two, but Vegeta's the bigger threat. Because Kami's roughly around 5,000 himself. But he beats up beats up Nappa and Raditz pretty easily. Then when it comes down to, Vegeta, it's a much harder fight until Broly arrived. And when Broly arrived, well, it got a lot easier, as even Great 8 Vegeta could not beat Broly. Broly at this point is roughly around, compared to Goku's 40 million, from just only going the time chamber, his training in the time chamber, Broly's roughly around 15 million. So, yeah. But Broly can control Ikari and Super Saiyan 1, while Goku is full Super Saiyan that can evolve to beyond the levels of Super Saiyan. But with this, well, we just move on to Vegeta surrendering to them once Goku did walk out, revealing that he is there, just they couldn't really sense him. They couldn't pick him up, they picked up like Kami and stuff like that. Because Goku broke every scouter on planet Vegeta, so they didn't know how to estimate him. They kind of thought he was holding back a bit so they could scout him. Honestly, just a very weird thing. They kind of thought Kami was him, but they also didn't believe it at the same time. They wanted to check it. But eventually, well, Vegeta talked about how Raditz and Nappa picked up something about from one of Frieza's soldiers. And one of the soldiers basically described that, wait, pause. Alright, so, Raditz and Nappa picked up something that one of Frieza's soldiers said, and one of the soldiers basically said that they're heading dynamic inferiors once they investigate this legend about Dragon Balls. But the Dragon Team already knows that Dragon Balls exist, so what they do instead is just train as hard as they can. Goku passed the planet. This planet that seemed decently strong on his way out of Earth's orbit, or just away from Earth, and the hits can by Namek and Yardrat. At least I said he's going to head to that planet, and he offers to bring Broly because Broly can get stronger too. And Broly nodded. And Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz wanted to go too. But Goku told them that they need to find their own inner peace first. Well, mainly Vegeta and Nappa. Raditz is cool, but Raditz also is really weak, so he's to train here first. But him and Broly he wanted to drive Broly and flew through space at max speed, covering Broly's mouth. They arrive on Yardrat. They arrive for like 2 minutes. When they arrive, they've been training on Yardrat as much as possible. And Broly the rest of Goku did change, but his mindset was still a lot like a Viltrumite, but kind of like, you can tell that Goku was aiming for Frieza, only no one else, and with how Goku is, or seemed to be still, he'd probably take over Frieza's empire. Because of this Goku's exact plan. He knew this. Broly knew it. But by the time they do head back to Earth, after around a year, Goku had learned basically every spiritual ability, but literally just besides, I would say besides, Force Spirit Vision, probably. That's the only ability I don't see him learning. And healing, cloning, instant transmission, gigantification. Wait, no. I can actually see him learning Force Spirit Vision instead of gigantification, but yeah. So we learned all his abilities besides gigantification. Also, because Kami taught him how to do that already, so only thing that'd be different is that Yardratians do it better. But yeah, so eventually they just the fighter told Goku they're heading to Namek now. And then Vegeta, even Goku's new son Gohan, Chilai, and all of them have gotten really strong. This is Goku basically told them at least leave 2 people behind on Earth to get stronger. This means that the Paragus and Roshi on standby, and Goku's okay with that. So they fly onto Earth. They fly onto Yardrat. Goku and Broly both do. Broly uses transmission, while Goku honestly just flew there at max speed. Somehow he beat Broly's transmission, which is how fast he was. He got a lot stronger, moving at now million, like around 1.55 million times faster than light. He moved faster than instant transmission can somehow. But yeah. Now with this, Goku would just kind of wait for his soldiers. But Kami is actually able to skill. Kami kind of left the little Kami position behind for a bit. But he tells the Yardratians, the Namekians what's coming, and they all are thankful for the help. But Goku and Broly are kind of concerning. So, yeah. But they do say the only one to be concerned about is possibly Goku because he's easily influenced because of just who he used to be around. And Guru does understand that Goku is still somewhat like a child, but also, well, somewhat needs to be treated like a child for a bit. That's kind of what Goku would need. Him and not having anyone treat him like a child for a while besides Gohan. But then he wasn't used to that at the time, so it didn't really affect him too much. He still had some effect that could work if you just give it a little longer. Being a parent also gave him a little bit more responsibility. But yeah, so when Frieza forces arrive, Goku would actually come Frieza, and Frieza does recognize Goku. Then Frieza honestly floats out of the ship and powers up to his final form, knowing that he cannot take Goku lightly. It's a common fact that no one should take him lightly. He grows too fast. Frieza wanted to fight fast too, so taking Goku at max power would probably end the fight quickly. So Broly once he appeared, punching down first form Frieza into the dirt and just being pummeling him, not even going Akari just yet. That's probably roughly around 80 million at this point. But Frieza did actually go all out and throw Broly off of him. Goku flew full speed ahead at Frieza, punching a hole right through him, then cutting off his head. Then he grabbed Frieza's head and just turned it to dust. And that killed Frieza. Just how fast Frieza was killed, and everyone was shocked. Even Vegeta was shocked, and he knew Goku and Broly were stronger than Frieza. Honestly, just a common fact for him. Goku ended up covering his ears, as he told Broly to do it. Broly let out a really loud roar, as Bulma covered Gohan's ears too. Actually, no, Gohan wouldn't be there. Bulma is there, though, but Broly let out a loud roar that kind of popped the eardrums of everyone that he was aiming it at. And also Goku covered his ears because he was behind Broly, so... Well, the Z Fighters just quickly zoomed in, beating on anyone in their path. Then, if anyone was still awake or still breathing in near Goku, he let out giant key blasts that turned them all to dust. So, yeah, by the time they're done, most of the Visa Force is dead. But it kind of just ends this arc. And when it comes to the android, they have Broly's DNA, but not Goku's DNA, because Goku was not involved with the whole, joining the Red Army, but he's also really strong compared to Broly. But also when they come back, there's no Trunks, because I'm going to explain why. So, 1. Cell will not be a problem. Cell is literally just going to be 100% Viltrumite. That's all he's going to be. And that is nothing compared to Goku or Broly. Nothing at all. Cell would be destroyed. Goku's Viltrumite DNA compared to probably just Broly's Super DNA would not end up doing anything better besides making him more Viltrumite. And at the best, he'd have a short temper, which would make him sloppier. And he would have an evolving Goku he'd have a rapidly evolving Goku and a rapidly evolving Broly. These two will not pair well for Cell. Cell would be destroyed in seconds. So just to avoid that pointless fight, Cell would not be made. Or he would be made, but it wouldn't work. The androids are strong, sure, but those don't work either. Then when Cell does arrive, Cell's completely demolished by Goku and Broly. So yeah. Also, Goku is immune to disease. I said that before. He doesn't get a heart virus, so there's no need for Trunks to arrive either. And the androids were honestly completely demolished in Trunks' timeline by Goku, who's immune to disease. So Trunks' timeline isn't in danger at all. It's literally just Cell sneaking out of hiding to go kill Goku. And that is it. Which wouldn't work. So they don't know about future Trunks. Which we move on to the Buu Saga now, which is the next important saga. There's time Goku completely mastered spirit control. It's only Broly. Then Goku just kept evolving false Super Saiyan. It's something called Super Saiyan despite it being false Super Saiyan. But he also ended up going to King Kai's planet because he has information and can sense King Kai. I just honestly went there because he was curious. But we met King Kai did train Goku willingly. And then Broly also trained there as well, alongside more of the Z Fighters. There was more of the Z Fighters training there as a group. Well, they all just train a lot there. All of them have at least Kaioken times 10. But then Goku can stack Kaioken, can stack Kaioken and false Super Saiyan. And he used false Super Saiyan times 60 like a base. So, yeah. But his max power in false Super Saiyan is roughly around 3,000. Then he can stack Kaioken on that because his muscles can heal at the same time as they're being destroyed. Only thing is it drains too much ki too quickly. So that's the only reason he doesn't use that more often or as a base form. It just drains ki rapidly. But yeah, so when it does come down to basically, one, Gohan. Gohan was born 4 years later. So him and Videl won't get together, but Gohan's a kid genius, so he's in high school. But him and Videl do get along pretty well. Vidal's kind of like his tutor at times. So he's like 14 and like a final year of high school. But yeah, so we should go on to Goku, as well, one of the androids, who actually would have 18. And 18 is his wife. Then he has Chi-Chi as well, and he has Bulma as well. He is not saving women for anyone. Besides Broly. Broly. Most of Goku's anger married Chi-Lai, and Goku almost beat Broly to death for it. But he eased up a bit, so yeah. Yeah, so Goku has 3 different wives, or yeah, 3. Bulma, Bulma, Chi-Chi, and 18. Krillin has like Marin or whatever that girl's name was. The rip-off Bulma. But yeah, so when it comes to Boo, well, honestly, Gohan's an internalized Saiyaman, but honestly, only uses Viltrumite DNA. Not DNA, Viltrumite abilities. And honestly, everyone considers him a real life superhero. This Gohan is a lot like Superman, just take away the laser vision and laser vision and cold breath. But turn the breath into ki. So yeah. So we can just move on to probably just when they have to invade Babadi's hideout. No, honestly, Raditz and Nappa stare it down. Nappa ends up pointing up 2 fingers and turns the whole area to dust. It's honestly Goku ended up holding up a barrier, spiritual, not even just spiritual, just honestly just a barrier. And well, the blast is tanked by all of them. And Raditz honestly isn't just phased by it, because he's a lot stronger than Nappa is, but some of the Z fighters aren't stronger than Nappa is, so they need a barrier. If you're weaker than Nappa, you wouldn't need a barrier. But yeah, then we move on to just Boo. Nappa's exerted ki was honestly too impressive and released a decent amount of Boo's power. But then, well, they're also fed ki by Gohan still being Super Saiyan, as he's a bit more influential, or easily influenced. But yeah, so Gohan and Nappa kind of release Boo. But as we see Boo being released, Goku and Broly just kind of stared down Boo and laughed at him. Boo then tried to fight them, only for them both to use one combined attack and incinerate Boo's body completely. Then if Boo decided to try to regenerate, they did it all over again. So, like the last time Boo was about to try and regenerate, they kind of sealed him away. But yeah. Then Goku gave it to Shin. So Boo is honestly sealed away with Shin, and Shin is amazed at how strong the Z fighters are. Well, this arc honestly ended in like probably in the same hour it began. But yeah, and then same with the Cell Saga that ended in the hour it began. So they also had a few days for Cell, or a few weeks for Cell, but then that ended in like 10 minutes. So yeah, now we move on to the Beerus thing. So Beerus should see Goku and all of them chilling out for Bulma's birthday party, and Goku's just sitting there with 18 and Chi-Chi sitting on his lap. Beerus asks question who Goku is, as if he seems like such a playboy to him. So that's when Goku says he's the smartest man in the universe. Beerus and we start to debate that, but Goku does seem to be really smart compared to anyone else they've ever met. We and Beerus are sure smarter, but Goku seems to be in 3rd place, which is pretty impressive because he's the smartest man on Earth, but not in the universe. But yeah, eventually Goku and Beerus do fight. Beerus wants to know about Super Saiyan God. Let's say they have to a god is Goku, who's not a god, Broly, who's some mythical creature, Gohan, who is like, hold on, check. At this point, we have like Gohan, who's 20 and did marry Videl. He married Videl like a year ago, and she's already pregnant. So yeah, so Gohan's 20, Broly is in his 40s, Goku's in his 40s. Yeah. So we have a mythical creature, a very weird hybrid being Gohan. Another hybrid, just like it's a science experiment being Goku. And he also has 2 more kids. This points out Goten and then Goku Jr. And they're just flying in the air fighting. So yeah. Yeah. His wives are very mad that they only have all boys. But yeah. But Beerus does fight them all and doesn't admit that Goku's really impressive, as Goku doesn't seem to run out of ki anytime soon. By the time the fight's done, it's been a day. They fought for a full 24 hours, and Goku's finally losing a bit of energy. Because his Kaioken dropped down a bit, so, yeah. But with this, Goku seems to have a, not he does, we recently see have an interest in Goku. They also have an interest in Broly, and Gohan, and Goten, and Goku Jr. They have an interest in basically anyone who's a Viltrumite or some mythical creature. So, yeah, basically all the Saiyans, or anyone Saiyan DNA is brought up to Beerus' planet to train. Goten and Goku Jr. are sent back a lot, just because they're not that old yet. They're both they're both in middle school. Or actually, wait, no. Yeah, they're both in middle school. So, because at this point they're both 13. They're not twins. They're born the same week. But yeah. But guys are curious. Gohan is Bulma's kid. Goten is Chi-Chi's, and Goku Jr. is 18's. But yeah, but by the time that we go on to Resurrection F, where King Cold revived Frieza, the moment that Goten and Goku Jr. arrived in the scene to see Golden Frieza, they went Super Saiyan Blue and fight off a giant ki blast that engulfed King Cold and Frieza and incinerated most of the Frieza force that was around. No one else arrived besides Goten and Goku Jr. It was just those two who went Super Saiyan Blue and erased the whole Frieza force off the map all over again. Then we move on to the next arc, being the whole Champa thing. But Goku stood on Champa and fought Champa, and fought Champa to a standstill in Super Saiyan God, not Blue, and he was holding back in God. Champa even went all out to Kai and was still being pushed back. So yeah. Also, Goku's whole Super Saiyan God thing is even Super Saiyan God. It's more just him having like a crimson aura, with his hair spiking up still, but it doesn't turn red. It just floats up a bit. Like false Super Saiyan God, kind of what it is. But yeah, he beat down Champa with that, holding back. Won't even beat him, kind of stalemated with him. And Champa didn't want to fight Goku for his planet. If Goku was holding back against him, still pushed him. Goku's holding back a whole form and 50% of this current form's power. So yeah. But with that, we move on to the next thing, being just probably Goku Black. But there's no tournament, so there's no Goku Black. So yeah, there's no Goku Black arc or Goku dying. And if there is, it's resolved pretty quickly. So we can move on to the next thing, I guess, because if Goku dies, they can literally just know it was Zamasu and kill whoever did it. So yeah, let me move on probably just to Tournament Power, which won't happen. Goku doesn't know Zeno. We go on to the Moro thing, but Moro fighting Goku is probably the biggest mistake he would ever make. Goku this time with a lot of more training to happen. Ultra Instinct. He can use Omen by will easily. He can use Ultra Instinct itself easily. He can use Ultra Ego. He has Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego combined, which he calls that the true God form. Even though he's false. Not even false actually. He has regular Ultra Instinct and regular Ultra Ego. But Vegeta has Ultra Ego. Broly has just Ultra Instinct down on lock. Not even Ultra. I don't think he needs Ultra Instinct. I think he honestly just needs some Master Legendary Super Saiyan. So Broly has Master Legendary Super Saiyan and all them. And then Goku Jr. and Goten and Gohan, they all have Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God. Which they just have false Super Saiyan versions of it, really. Raditz and Nappa just have Super Saiyan God and Blue. But yeah. And Nappa is a student of Beerus mainly, then Raditz is on regular master of Whis. No, not regular master, regular student of Whis. But yeah. So we move on to just the Moro arc, where Moro will have to fight True God Goku and just be obliterated over and over again in seconds. Like, the only try to take a single breath, Goku tore him in half. and then let Broly just go apeshit on him just because he can. Like the moment Moro took one breath on Namek, Goku tore him in half. Then when it came to any other sick prisoners, Goku found them and treated them like the guardians of the globe. So, yeah, punch a hole through their face, slam them in so hard that their head pops open. He brutalized them. Then we go on to Gas. Or Granola. When Granola made a wish to be strongest in the universe, it wouldn't work. Goku is simply the strongest in the universe at this point. He's beaten Beerus, so just doesn't want to be a destroyer yet. He's wait till Goten then wait till Goten and Goku Jr. are at least 18. Also because he thinks it'd be more convenient for them because they'd be out of school. But yeah. So once Goku Jr. and Goten are once like going to Granola arc. Granola wishing the strongest in the universe is, as I just said, as Dragon Ball said, is a Saiyan, but Granola still gets his wish. So yeah. So we go on to basically just Goku versus Granola. Because Granola still has, like, this is on Granola the same way in canon. When Goku and Granola do fight, it's just Goku and Granola only. This seems to be a good fight. Goku only using just like Kaioken and pushing Granola back a little bit. But with this, Broly and Vegeta arrived knowing Goku wouldn't use Kaioken this much if he wasn't signaling them. But eventually he stopped saying that he has to go pick up his kids from school, so they can handle it from here. And just jet off through space at max speed, and not even Granola could keep up with that. But Broly just went like just listening to Super Saiyan and grabbed Granola by the head. With Vegeta going Ultra Ego, telling Granola that he's gonna die here today. And they were right. Granola was killed by them. Even when Gas came, they killed Gas, Oil, Maki, and Elec. They killed any possible that they have. This honestly ends the what if. So, I also kind of got this messy for like Goku's whole thing. I do admit that. But still, I do want Goku to have somewhat of an urge of Viltrumite in him, just from hearing something that Viltrumite would do. But sorry if it seemed a bit spotty or something, but I did enjoy making this what if. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more. Adios.